Hello and welcome to today's Dalal Streak Week Ahead video. Now we'll be taking a look at two stocks and Bitcoin. I'll take a look at the price action analysis of Bitcoin, after which we'll take a look at Wipro and Tech Mahindra. I'll take a look at what option traders and what equity traders can do with both names. Then before we do that, let's take a look at the news that will be affecting our markets this week. Now, one of the news which I believe will affect our market is FIIs. This is FIIs in the first 3 days of January alone managed to sell again 4,285 crore net, and that does show that the trend will be continuing of FIIs being net sellers, and I do not blame them partially. This is as number one is the apprehension of the third quarter earnings, number two the high valuation of the Indian stocks. This is the stocks may have fallen a lot in the past 2 to 3 months, but they're still highly overvalued, a lot of the names. Then the third thing is the dollar is strong and US bond yields offer attractive returns. So they're not going to stick around for meager returns post taxes. Even let's say if you buy an ETF of India or global ETF of India, the returns are too low post tax, so why will they bother doing that? And I think that is why this heavy FI selling is going on, and I expect will continue. Next, this week all eyes will be on the December quarter earnings. They will be kicked off by TCS on January 9th and Avenue Supermarts on January 11th. There are a lot of other companies, but these are the two which are really going to be kicking off the season. Then on the global front, there's a lot of data coming out this week due to we have had basically 2 weeks of no data, and now all of that has to come out. But the first thing which I believe will really affect our markets and all global markets is the FOMC meeting minutes. This year in 2024, the FOMC did 100 BPS rate cut. However, in the last meeting, the signal that 2025 they're basically going to be only most likely doing 2 rate cuts instead of 4, which I mentioned earlier. So what the FOMC minutes will show is the logic behind all of that, and I think that will severely affect the markets. Then also the non-farm payrolls and a lot of other data is coming, which will naturally affect the American market, which will affect us due to we tend to follow the global markets pretty closely and the Americans the most. So that's it on the news front. Now let's pop over to the stocks first, then we'll take a look at Bitcoin last. Now when we look at Tech Mahindra, for example, now Tech Mahindra has had a pretty bad past 2 weeks, I would say, and this was largely due to this candle which formed, which is a high volume bearish candle. Now in my point of view, there is a strong quant resistance at 1805, and I think if you go back to the previous video I did on TechM, you will see this was highlighted then also, and I had said this will cause problems for us who are holding TechM. So that was right, and we have come down to the support at 1680. So now according to me, as long as it trades between 1680 and 1805, we're not going to get a clear directionality, and it's just going to go zigzag, and this is a zone equity traders are not going to make any money out of. However, option sellers can capture the zone, but there is a higher risk if they decide to sell puts. This is as if we break if the Tech Mahindra breaks the support at 1680, high likelihood it will have a quick fall to 1600 to 1620, which is a major support zone. So why I have not highlighted the supports below or resistance above this is, I believe overall, if you look at the weekly time frame, not the daily, TechM is going to trade between 1805 and 1600 for quite some time. So that is going to end up causing big movements in this range. So basically it is in 2 box ranges. One box range is this, and the second box range is the big one. So that is how I see it trading in the coming weeks. So what I will do most likely in the coming this week is open option sales of selling calls above 1800 because of the resistance of 1805, and I will most likely sell puts below 1600. As I said, I will not enter, let's say, a put sell of 1680 and below due to the inherent nature of where the stock is right now, and there is too much risk if you enter put sells at this point, as if it breaks 1680 it will be a very fast fall. So my overall advice is equity traders avoid this. Option sellers is the only guys who are going to make money, and option buyers only if it breaks 1680. So that's the trading plan for TechM. Now let's move over to Wipro. Now Wipro had a very bad Friday's trading session. We can see the huge bearish high volume bar which formed, and it's sort of a continuation of what started the week before. Now Wipro, the whole IT sector according to me, is in a similar situation. Wipro is, as long as it's between 305 and 285, it's not going to go anywhere. This is how I look at it. Now this is a stock, due to its position in the chart, can be traded by option buyers and option sellers. TechM was more of an option seller stock, let's say 70% option sellers, 30% option buyers. Because option buyers will only get if 1680 breaks a chance. But Wipro, if we break the low of Friday's candle, then the option buyers will get a shot until 285. Quick in, quick out. On the other hand, option sellers can end up even selling the range of 305 to 285 and cash in from the box range movement from this. So that is how I'm looking at Wipro. I most likely on Monday's trading session will be watching Wipro. If it breaks the low of Friday's candle and it's being supported by the trend catcher indicator, let's say in the 15-minute chart, I will enter a short with a target of 290 and 285. While at the same time I'll be watching it for option selling, that over the coming course of days gradually enter it with call sales above 305 and put sales below 285, as that will let me capture a gain from that movement. Yes, option selling requires much more money, but it is what it is, and it will let you capture the box range volatility, giving you a healthy return. So that's how I look at it. Equity traders, it's an avoid. This is by chance it falls to 285 and it breaks that, then it's going to 270. On the other hand, as long as you trade within this box range, you're not going to make much. You're going to make, let's say, if you take the entry point and you add the cost of trading, you might make 3% on it, which is not worthwhile for the risk reward. You'd rather go and do that in another stock, which will give it in a easier manner. So again, Wipro, TechM, I think are stocks which are more for option traders right now and not for equity traders. TechM is more for option sellers. Wipro is equal for option sellers and option buyers. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now I'm taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart, not on the intraday. Now Bitcoin, according to me, has gone and ended up forming a range between 102 and 88,700. So as long as it is within this range, you're not going to get a clean move, as this is more of a range of scalping. So let's say go in and then get out in 1 2 days, go in, get out in 1 2 days. Since you can trade it in both directions, do it in both sides. However, if it breaks 102,300 or 88,700, that is when it's going to give a big move on either side of the crypto. So how I'm looking at it, as I said, between this zone you can scalp trade it between 102,300 and 88,700. If it breaks 102,300, then it will go to 109,000 to 111,500. If it breaks 88,700, it will go to 83,000. Now, why is there resistance at 102,300 while most of the market is talking about 100,000? Now, 100,000 is a psychological level that most are tracking, but the quant resistance level, which I believe those people who are tracking my videos from longer know its significance, is at 102,300. So even if it clears 100,000, it does not mean it can go to 110. It will first have to clear the major hurdle at 102,300 to be able to go further up. Plus, on the other hand, if it has to drop, it has to break 9800, then 88,700, and that is a very major support. So right now, expect basically sideways movement in crypto, but due to the range being decent, scalping can be very profitable within this range. If it breaks the top end, then it will have a sharp up move. If it breaks the bottom end, it will have a sharp drop. I'll continue providing more updates on this, and those who are interested can basically obviously click the subscribe button and notification bell, so you can keep getting keeping a track of the crypto space. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Any stocks want covered, drop them in the comment section below. Anything worthwhile in them, then they'll be covered. Thank you.